Covering news where you live. This is 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us here for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. The Fayetteville City Council is scheduled to vote on a resolution to address homelessness in the city. The resolution would give just under $1.3 million to nonprofit New Beginnings, which helps those experiencing homelessness get back into a home and provide temporary housing. New Beginnings would take that money, which would come from the American Rescue Plan Act, to buy existing duplexes and possibly apartment complexes, all to create affordable housing in Fayetteville. The council is scheduled to vote on this during its meeting on Tuesday at 5:30. All right, before we get to other top news right here in our area, let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Zach Scott. And Zach, it looks like another nice day.
I got a good one here for you, Joe. This one is looking a little bit better than Sunday, and I don't think anybody had issues with Sunday. Well, it was a little breezy for you, wasn't it? That was the one issue that you might have with the forecast. We've been warming up going into and through the weekend. Today's the last day of that warming trend, so soak it in, as we will have some cooler, wetter weather coming in the rest of the week. So we're talking 70s to near 80 degrees. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to be. Yesterday was a lot of low to mid 70s across the area, a few upper 70s mixed in. Today, mostly mid to upper 70s area wide, and we will have some of those 80s likely mix in. River Valley, southeast Oklahoma has the better shot. We're going to be close. Northwest Arkansas too. Hey, we're quiet today. Mix of sun and clouds, a little breezy out there. As we get into Tuesday, start to get more into an active pattern that's going to be in place. We'll see thicker cloud cover across the area. Chance for some drizzle and sprinkles will be possible as we go through the day. Rain chances look better as we go Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So when we'll see our first batch of rain and some thunder move through. Best chance for a strong storm more out into central Oklahoma. Showers should be weakening as they come in, but again, some gusty winds and some lightning will be possible with the heavier downpours. As we go through the day on Wednesday, off and on showers. Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we stay in the active pattern. Some off and on scattered showers and rumbles of thunder remain possible. And Thursday, we're still tracking the chance for some scattered downpours. Rainfall forecast overall continues to get a little bit more set in stone here. Been tracking it the last several days. Bottom line, I think at least 2 to 3 inches widespread looks good right now for most of the area. That starts again anywhere late Tuesday through Thursday, 2 to 3 inches with some locally higher amounts. Overall, we are doing really well on the rainfall totals. There's no drought in place, a lot of moisture in the soil, so saturated soils will likely lead to a lot of runoff, and the potential for some flooding will be there, something we'll keep our eyes on through the week. Joe?
All right, thanks so much, Zach. Well, a protest over a Senate bill happened this weekend looking to change a law about books and minors. And several allies and members of the LGBTQ plus community say they aren't happy with it. They hosted the Ban Off Our Books rally at the Fayetteville Square. The rally lasted for about an hour. It's in response to Senate Bill 81, which wouldn't instantly ban any books, but it would change the current law, making a more unified process for parents to challenge if a book that is, quote, not appropriate for a certain age, and essentially have that book removed. The current law stops this process at the local library board. This bill would instead let a city council or county quorum court decide if a book should be removed. The bill would also hold librarians and teachers criminally liable if they knowingly advertise or check out obscene materials to a minor. Obscenity is defined in this bill as something that depicts sexual conduct. Those protesting this bill say it's taking away representation, while the bill's sponsor says it's about parents' rights.
But there's what they're protesting about, unless they're opposing parents' rights to see what materials they're checking out.
I'm worried that banning books could create a snowball effect where you start with transgender people and then slowly work your way up the ladder, targeting more and more and more minorities.
Well, the bill is currently in a House committee. After being in the Senate for a little more than a month, the House committee will discuss the bill on Tuesday morning. And looking ahead, there is going to be a scholarship and career fair in Fort Smith this Saturday. It'll be from 11:30 to 4:30 at the Stevens Boys and Girls Club. Parents and students are invited to get help with scholarship searches, FAFSA completion, resume writing, and career exploration. The event will also have Miss Arkansas 2022 as a special guest. Meanwhile, voters in Oklahoma will head to the polls and decide whether to legalize recreational marijuana tomorrow for Election Day. The Sooner State already has one of the nation's most robust medical marijuana programs. Supporters of the measure tried to get the question on the November ballot, but a delay in verifying the signatures led to the governor calling for a special election just for this proposal. And it's been a busy start of the year for lawmakers. That's just one area the new Attorney General Tim Griffin says his office is helping with. He recently stopped by the 5 News studio. Reporter Jose Carranza gives us a look at how the Attorney General is helping lawmakers before they present bills at the Capitol.
We just want to demonstrate an energy and a real responsiveness to the taxpayer.
Sworn in this year as Attorney General, fifth-generation Arkansan Tim Griffin is now the natural state's top law enforcement officer.
When we get calls, for example, from a legislator or an official for an opinion, we turn that around quickly. When we get consumer complaints, we turn that around quickly so that people are getting the customer service culture that taxpayers deserve.
Handling legal matters for the state, Griffin already has a busy schedule as lawmakers introduce new bills.
When the session is over, if the past is any indication, there will be well over 1,000 bills signed into law.
It's why one of AG Griffin's top priorities is assisting legislators in writing their bills.
We want to make sure that the laws are written as well as possible so that we can give it the best defense possible.
Griffin says his experience as lieutenant governor helps him assist in the review process of a prospective bill. While they mainly screen for constitutionality, he says with some bills, the Attorney General can lean in and take a more active role.
A big part of my push is criminal justice reform. We have a serious violent crime problem in this state, and a lot of it is due to our failed parole system.
It's a problem, he says, cascades down to the county level, filling jails with violent criminals they're not equipped for and forcing leniency on misdemeanors. Last year, Arkansas joined 5 other states suing the Biden administration on student loan forgiveness. Although started by former Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, Griffin continues the job, saying it's his job to monitor federal overreach and that some justices may be leaning toward the state's arguments.
And you're going, hey, I know you didn't take any student loans out, but guess what? You're going to pay for the kid who went to Harvard. You're going to pay some of his student loans for it. That's just not fair.
And for educational matters here in the state, he's made it clear he's a supporter of the LEARNS Act and applauds Governor Sanders.
Look, I think this gives us an opportunity to do something differently so that we can get different outcomes. We've tried the same stale, old way of doing things for decades, and we are allowing 2/3 of our students to continue through school not reading on grade level.
Covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
Well, the LEARNS Act will be discussed in a Senate committee today. That's one of the big ones being discussed in Arkansas. Of course, stay with us at 5 News Online and today at 5 News On Air for the decision coming from the state capitol. Well, thank you for joining us here today for the latest news and weather where you live. I'm Joe Ellison. Make sure to catch up with us again tomorrow right here for more.